σας. Για τον φιλοξενούμενό μας θα γυρίσω στα αγγλικά. Ο κύριος Mr. De Bruin will give a presentation first about how current trends in visitors' choices and marketing combine together with developments in artificial intelligence technology to offer unique new opportunities and challenges for tourist enterprises and other stakeholders. Then we will have a short discussion based on the presentation. Chris.
Thank you, Aris. Hello, everybody. Pleasure to be here with you today. I heard many of the interventions before, and I think some of the points here will relate to some of the issues and opportunities that have been pointed out. So actually, the idea is really about how can we improve our business model as tourism destinations or tourism companies, right? And we're focusing on 3 points only, because there's so many things that we can do. Let's try to focus. One is on targeting the market segments, no? And we'll talk about segmentation by mindsets, why it's relevant, how we can work with it. Second, we'll talk about the value proposition and hear about the product trends, what we are seeing also happening today, how it is related so much with experiential tourism, and it's been talked a lot also during today, and one of the former intervention was about that also. And then we'll just go into an integrated concept for Greece, just an illustrative, maybe just forward thinking. And finally, the technology part, which unfortunately or fortunately we have to address today, which is, of course, with the artificial intelligence, and we'll talk specifically about agentics. So the first point really about targeting the market segments, it's not anymore, as you know, and about just demographic segmentation or geographical source market. This has evolved quite a lot. Some people speak about tribes, and I think that there is a study that was done here in Greece. But in general, I think people are using the word mindsets. No? Mindsets mean what people, the values, the expressions, what they think about themselves, what they think about life, what they think about other people, and is going to drive the way they're going to travel and what they want, what they will be doing during their trip. And just to understand, we're not talking a family is not a good segmentation, because you have family that are more adventurer, the others that don't want to be adventurer, that want more prudent. So at the end, you can find out, and that's the result of a comparative analysis of 6 different countries that have been really investigating and making also quantitative research into finding out what are these mindsets, no? Including also a job done by Amadeus back in 2023. And crossing all this information, the latest time we've done it for our region, Catalonia, I'm from Barcelona, where we tried to establish this, and we saw quite a lot of coincidence in the naming, with different naming, but the same concepts, no? And here we have 10 different mindsets. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but there's some of them maybe even you might not want to have too many of them, like the social capital, they are just going for the Instagram shot, no? And one Instagram shot to the next Instagram shot, right? And, well, they're also spending, but sometimes it has to do with over-tourism that we were saying before. But we have a lot of different mindsets, no, when traveling. And we can see also in terms of the percentages that we're seeing there are just indicative, but are quite varied. So we can address different people. So people are intrinsically one way or the other, but sometimes they can also be in different mindsets. So what is it? Why is it important? It's important because when we communicate, when we create a product, when the product that I'm selling as a destination or as a company, as a tourism company, the way I communicate it might be the same base, but I'm going to communicate with different messages depending on the mindset of that people. So families, but a family that is more adventurer, family that is more prudent, family that wants to get together, intergenerational trip. Each time it's a different communication. This is just one example. I'm not going to go through it, but it's really to understand what is the mind of that person and how we communicate with them in terms of products, what are we going to highlight, etc. When we go now to say, okay, once I understand these people that I want to target, and the next step is how do I adapt my product? How do I work with the value proposition? So again here, we are moving from macro categories, we're going to talk about them, macro categories of products, to the needs of the different segments. But here going to the mindset, we're going to more and more micro products and very niche products also. The big categories, more or less, would be the following one, huh? The rest, anything relating with the rest. But as we know, and that's very much related, for instance, here with accommodation, how much the accommodation sector has changed in the past 10, 15 years. No? And we still have the same guys, but also we have different ones. No? The resorts, how they have come to resorts, to segmented resorts, no? For specific clientele, not the couples only, family only, or mix. The all-inclusive has evolved a lot. We have now luxury, ultra-luxury, all-inclusive. Okay? And say, no, all-inclusive is cheap. No, all-inclusive is not necessarily cheap at all. And all-inclusive also saying, no, I'm going to offer you something to be tasting the destination where you are. You stay 1 week, but 6 days or 5 days, you'll be in the resort. 1 day, you're going to explore, etc. The branded residences, the glamping, dedicated resorts on products like wellness, etc. In the exploration, I think here what we've been seeing, and we've been intervening in the grand tours, for instance, of Catalonia and the Basque country in our regions in Spain, it's about giving a taste of the country, but you can do it on your own, and you are actually offering a lot of different experiences. And you can experience the grand tour, which is the whole country, or the whole region, or you can do it just by pieces. City breaks, it's becoming more and more important, no? Themed itineraries, etc. In special interest, you have a long list. We're going to look a little bit more into it. And in terms of events, again, here we have the mega events. We have the social events, social meetings, no? These families that want to go together, or friends of the primary school that want to meet. Again, even that, etc. No? Boutique meetings. No? So it's actually very sophisticated again. When we see the motivations, and this is an information that is coming from a proprietary tool that's called Travelize, and it's actually looking twice a year at the European market, and we are looking and we are asking 20,000 people in most European markets, so what your travel drivers, what the holiday types you like, and other things, right? So here what I've done is I've extracted from the 10 source market, most important source markets for Greece, so looking at the source market for Greece, 10 first, and say, okay, in general, not thinking about Greece, but in general, what are your motivation or travel drivers? I'm not going to go to the list, but it's a very long list, right? And it was multiple choice, by the way. That's why you see these percentages. But we can see some of them, again, the usual suspects, no? And that's why I highlight in the bottom. We have going to the beach. Oh, extremely different, right? No. But we have also interacting with locals. And look, it's a high percentage in this box. Okay? And maybe this would have been in the list some years ago, no? And this is changing all the time. But we can see big city experiences. At the same time, we see, oh, cultural and historical experiences, and also visiting small and unique towns. And that's the one with the highest percentages. So it's really opportunity for everybody on the one hand, and these are and it is more and more specific, right? So I think this is what we can learn from here. Actually, we talked about the motivations to travel, where you transform these ideas, and you see there is a match. Who is coming on the first, and on the bottom, which is the big numbers, no? We see, again, the cultural holidays. We get the big city holidays. You remember we had city breaks, and etc. No? The small and unique towns, again. No? So there is a matching between what I want to do and the product that we can offer. And at the same time, you find very niche product, bird watching, also diving, etc. No? So there is a lot of opportunities, but it's increasingly complex to satisfy everybody. But I think we have the choice here. When we look about the trends, even if we go deeper, no, and very niche products, this is coming from TripAdvisor, the 2025 Trends Report. What do they say? They say, look, there are some products, there are some ideas that we have witnesses an increase that is amazing from 39 to 550%, okay? Like nano neighborhoods. Well, what is this? So they say, people don't say, no, I don't want to visit a city. I want to visit specifically, and that's why I'm coming back, because maybe I visited the big attractions. Now I want to visit some districts of that city. I want to feel the life in those places. I want to see also some tourism attractions in that place, but it's more about interacting, understanding what's the life is there. Or we have time tripping. What is this? Time tripping is, for instance, knowing that the American travelers, their planes are landing very early in the morning and they cannot get into their hotel until 3 o'clock or something like this. They open some big attractions at 7 o'clock in the morning or at 8 o'clock in the morning for them. That's an example. So this is really what we can see. There's a lot of, you can go to the web page and see what it is. So when we talk about now the value proposition, it's really more and more about being experiential. We've been talking about that for many years, but it's a reality now. We're going to see this, and then even transformational experiences, which means even more in something that is relating to my mind, what I'm going to do, how it's going to affect myself or the people around me, and the values that I have, etc. No? People looking for not just visiting, relaxing or something, but experiencing with something that goes deeper, right? So this is the next trend within the experiential tourism. So the experiential tourism is not just blah blah, it's a fact. When we see the numbers, here we see, and that's from Mabrian data, from just in 4 years, no? or 5 years, from 2019 to 2023, the conventional type of trips have gone down in comparison to the experiential tourism, as we can see here, right? About 50%. And also in the spending, because they say, yeah, a lot of people do that, but they don't spend money. No, they do spend money and more on this. So they are really willing to pay for some experiences. And that's what we see here, 20 to 25% of the total tourism spending, and that includes accommodation, everything, and the average growth is 14% per year. So something to really consider. In the case of Greece, I just ask again TripAdvisor to say which are the kind of experiences, or in general, what are the activities that are most valued with the 5-star in the TripAdvisor system. Private and customized tours, because I want something for me that is targeting, is again, my mindset, the way I want to experience, and so on and so forth. Family-friendly private day trips with exclusive access. Again, and the same way, cooking and food tour, that's very experiential, right? And even, I don't know why, but that's the one, it's one very famous, the Macaronas fishing boat. So they're very, very general, but very specific at the same time. And it's all of them very experiential at the end, because it's personalization. The experiences that I'm going to live is not for everybody will live it the same way, right? So that's the idea. When we talk about cultural attractions, because of course in Greece, this is one of the highlights, no, that you have. It's really going into much more into the evolution of these cultural attractions. We can see, for instance, global partnerships done between attractions, Natural History Museum of Qatar, working with the BBC. That's the serious kind of thing with documentaries. But we see the Van Gogh Museum has done a set of different corporations with Pokemon. What? With Pokemon, yes. With Vans, it's, the shoes. With Cariuma, their sustainable dressing. I didn't know about that brand, but anyway. And ASML, which is a technology company, and they help them making some exhibitions that are more immersive, in addition to what you can see in the Van Gogh Museum, which is obviously a very serious, etc. In storytelling, the Museum of the Future, go to the website and you see in Dubai, extremely, this is the most successful attraction today, a new museum, and other interactive experiences. Stonehenge, for instance, no? Stonehenge, what they've done is, okay, we have the cultural attraction, no? This is their biggest attraction, and they have created a space where you can say, I can leave Stonehenge because I come at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So what about Stonehenge in wintertime? What about Stonehenge in summertime? What about when the flowers are going around? What about sunset, sunrise, etc.? So they recreate this and tell you a story, and at the same time, they talk about the culture there. Another example is the monetization of cultural attraction. So you have this in Saudi Arabia. This is their Acropolis, if I may use the same word for them. They have done it in a very nice way. This is World Heritage. Next to it, they have made a big plan for a real estate commercial development. And it's become a place where people also are going to have lunch, dinner, tourists and people, and local people. They are doing the same kind of concept. Now they're working on it in Egypt, on the Giza Plateau. So I think it's very clear. Immersive spaces in the museum, so the way to, so you still have the pieces that are the ones that are the authentic one, but we present them in a way that is more immersive with the story and so on and so forth. Art and culture blended with technology. So that's also Team Lab that comes from Japan, and now also in Abu Dhabi and other places, and that's very successful also. This is another example. Sometimes in some countries we have a lot of places that have been there for 30 years, and what should we do with them? That happens to a job that we've done in Tarragona in Spain, next to Barcelona, where they had this space on the left-hand side, where it was a public space, public land, with a disco and with a water park. And after 30 years, what should they do? Don't want to do more. Okay, they have PortAventura next to the place, 5 million visitors. So what we're going to do in that space? So the municipality said, okay, let's think about it. And they wanted to do, at the end, a cultural-themed destination for tourists and locals, also for the locals to go there, right? And this is the example that we see. Using immersive spaces with the Mediterranean, adapted to the local context, no? to that part of the Mediterranean concept in 3 immersive rooms. Even sometimes just small ideas can be very beneficial, like we can see here with these products from Portugal. I'm sure everybody knows about the sardines, maybe not about the ovos mole, but this is a very traditional product that has been put, you find that in Lisbon airport. It's one of the most visited boat product, and at the same time Instagrammable. And it comes from, it's a real product, and they are famous for this, right? So let's now move from value proposition to agentic. So agentic is about the new approach of the AI that also affects tourism. We're not going to read that, but this is, I asked the AI to create for me a transformational tourism itinerary in Greece. I just say that, 5 days. What do you suggest? This came after 3 minutes. Okay? It's quite well explained, actually, no? And I said, okay, interesting. You can add attractions, you can add hotel accommodation. It can tell you everything you need in very fast. So that's one example, right? This is your travel agent, direct travel agent. I'm the end user, I'm going there, they put the itinerary for me. I said, okay, but that's 5 days. Let's do something that is a bit more concentrated. And let's say, you know, I'm going to stay for 5 days, but I want 1 week, I want 1 day that is transformative for me. So this is the example. This is not the full example, but you can see also. And where does he get this information? Well, from all the sources of data that the AI has. The question is, will my destination, will my business be there or not? That's the question. So at the end, agentic is about you know, using AI, and AI that is the agent that is helping, it's acting, you ask a question, it's answering you, it's deciding for you, it's deciding which place it's going to recommend. If you don't like, you can change, and it's learning all the time. It's automation of a complete process. You can have the full trip already, you know, planned for you, or 3 alternatives. It will not book for you, not yet. Okay, and it's massive scale customization, no? You get to everybody. And at the end here, it's about personalization, integration, very fast, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes. But here, we can have an opportunity also, if we are able to link our contents and make sure they are in this booking system or in this information system, it will help. What is going to happen with the intermediaries? That's the question. Are they going to be losing power or not? Because of that is direct. You don't go through any intermediaries. Probably not. Probably it will be, but maybe the balance will not be so extreme, no, as it is now. Maybe it's not going to be like booking is going to take 80% of the business, as an example. But for that, you need to, of course, work on the seeds, the connectors, and that is something to be done on micro level, local level, national level, even national scale or global scale, right? So at the end, we talked about the AI, we talked about the transformative experiences, but so we have myself now in the middle, that's me. On the left, we have people who I'm interacting with, system I'm interacting with, and then we have the AI on the right-hand side. So it's fine to speak about technology, but as we said many times today, the human trait is more and more important. So the technology is more and more important, and at the same time, the people are more and more important. The human interaction is more and more important. People are looking for it. They said it in the statistics I showed before, right? And last point, just about an idea to kind of wrap up this experiential tourism and thinking about it in an illustrative way for Greece. You have eudaimonia, right? Which is a concept that is only in Greece. This is Aristoteles, no? That has been Picoros, sorry. and that has actually created this concept 1,000 years ago, right? And from there, you can adapt it, and you can actually, you know, it's about transformation, lasting well-being, and it's very much linked to all the experiential, transformative tourism that people are looking for more and more. So imagine we can create products, or we adapt our products to this concept, product alignment. We have a lot of heritage, soft culture, wellness that we can use. And the experience can be just 1 hour or can be a full week, as we showed. And then we kind of have a certification system for destinations, for companies, and so on. And just conceptually speaking, imagine you have 20 destinations, 150 hotels, 500 experiences, as an example, right? It's a way to show our muscles in front of the rest of the world, the competitors, a concept that it's only ours, nobody can copy it, it's intangible. And well, this is the way to look at it, no? In a way you should communicate it, because the word eudaimonia is very complicated, even for me to pronounce to start with, but at the end, well, you can link it with other communication stage, no? Like the Greek blue, and something again that's very much the symbol of Greece, right? So that's the idea, and well, we've seen these 3 points: targeting, value proposition, technology. We've gone through it. I would see how they are linked, and the only last point really is in terms of what we should do, we have to work collectively. Don't try to do it alone. We can do alone. Today somebody was saying, I needed to do alone. You can do it. It's better to do it at national level, local level, put people together and create those experiences and then sell them and share them and connect with the AI. No? That's the idea. But always with this human touch, which everybody is looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Very interesting how, you know, the combination of these things with technology and mass customization, personalization rather, for customization. Now, just to help understand a bit, you mentioned 4 basic categories: rest, special interest, explore, and meet. We are doing quite well, I think, in rest and in things like city break, but not so well in grand tours or themed itineraries or other categories such as special interest and meet. Would you like to give a bit like a practical example how a concept like Evdaimonia, a brand basically like Evdaimonia, would help in the direction of, for example, of grand tours or themed itineraries?
Yeah, so first we will have the Evdaimonia concept, which I think first you need to explain it, but then it has to be tangible. How can I experience? No? I can take, when I visit Greece, what can I take from it? No? And that's where we need to have, you know, these destinations, as we mentioned, that have a set of elements. Not everything needs to be, you know, aligned with this concept, but we'll have it. We need to start with the experiences, right? And the experiences that we will offer and that can be linked with gastronomy, that some people were speaking about it before, with product, that how we're producing the product. It's linked with also, of course, all the culture, the assets that we have, but then it needs to include some activities that actually put you in the deeper, even if it's for 1 hour, no? That not just what you have. And once you have the experiences, then you can try to link also with the accommodation. You can link with, and put them to the destination altogether. So you have a set of elements, and then you say, you can take a grand tour, which will take you to the whole Greece if you want, or you come 5 times because you have a reason to come back, and you will see, no, through that's the grand tour, for instance, in Catalonia that we worked on, is really an itinerary. It can be with 10 different themes, okay, depending on what you're looking for, a lot of different experiences, and you just configure it yourself, no, the itinerary you want based on what you want. So even you say, what the kind of person you are? I'm this kind of person. I want to do the grand tour. So it will tell you what in the grand tour, which destination, which properties, which experiences will match the way. Imagine now with the AI, that helps. Actually, Catalonia is using a chatbot now for that, as an example.
Okay, thanks. So I understand also these grand tours will help you create repeat clients if they cannot do them at one go.
Because nobody can do the grand tour unless you are retired and you have 2 months. Okay. You cannot do the grand tour of Greece in 1 week. No way.
Going a bit more in the technological aspect, my understanding is that at the moment, in order to take advantage of the free, let's say, facilities of AIs where they can create programs such as the one you mentioned, you need to input the data, but I also understand that you need to input it in a way that the AI machine can read it easily. Do I understand correctly that if you do that, even if you're a very small company who otherwise does not have the opportunity to do advertisements, you can end up high up in the pages of high up in the suggestions of the AI, and therefore avoid commissions, etc., from OTAs or whatever?
Yes, correct. So it works a bit like the SEO, no? When we want to position our and to be sure that with the search names, that's what's happening today already. So we need to do the same kind of process, if I may say, with the AI. Don't ask me exactly how you do that because I'm not in technology. But of course, that can be done. And then that's the first point of how to connect the dots. And of course, when I see, when I made this consultation for the one day or the 5 days, I didn't pursue more, but I could have asked and say, okay, you are telling me this experience, I like this, I pick up this, I change and I create my own itinerary based on what you suggested, and you recreate it for me. Now, I want to do, where can I do that? And then they will say, the experience for this, the restaurant for that, the whatever, and they will tell me. So they will not book for me, they will not do that, but I can be there. So as long as I am positioned there as a company, as a tourism destination, then I have an opportunity, right? And then, of course, the link to actually book, actually buy, and so on, that's where we still don't know how it's going to. It can be direct, because they will give you the address, the phone, the email, the reservation, or that can be also through intermediaries, whatever. And probably the intermediaries will not wait and see that their business is getting out. So we don't know yet. It's too early to know. They have the answer to what is going to happen, really.
I remember when you were discussing your presentation, you said that you got from the AI tool you were using the answer, not yet. I cannot book that for you yet. And that brings me to the next question, which is, suppose that we expect that these machines will one day be able to do that, like now you can do booking through social media or whatever. Now my question is, in your opinion, if they do that, they will make agreements with various companies and they will probably get a commission from them. But in that way, they will lose their objectivity, so to speak, because now you think that they, or at least we think that they bring us everything that is available. Do you think that this perhaps points to an alternative model whereby the user, us as clients, would be willing to pay a small fee to an AI tool so that it creates the best program for us without having to worry about that they will propose the companies from which they take the commission?
Yes, I think that, there will be people that will be willing to do it. I mean, again, it depends. It's always a question of value, So if I pay a small fee, we pay for Netflix, we pay for other, to get our films or whatever. So we pay subscriptions. We pay quite a lot of subscription. That's another subscription at the end.
Could also be a one-off.
Sorry?
It could also be a one-off. It doesn't have to be
a one-off, and that's it. Depends on their business model, of course. So if I see some value in it, not everybody will receive, not everybody is technological, but more and more, even the older people, and they will actually think about it, And it's, again, which one I'm going to use, but it's going to be part of the technological tools that will be part of my life, and also for traveling. More and more people are using today AI for consultation. So to do for my next trips, my next excursion, something like this is going to be part of it at a very reasonable price. That's why we talked about it's massification at a very low cost massification, and at the same time, highly personalized, And super fast. It took me 5 minutes to do the one. One was 3.5 minutes, and the other one was 7 minutes. Sorry, so that's why I'm saying 5 minutes.
Even today, you can pay ChatGPT $25 for a month and use it as your travel agent to create your own program. Finally, I'm going to change a bit the subject. One final question. In your example of brand eudaimonia, you mentioned a lot about Greek values and how this is building in the brand. Now, I was in the WTTC conference about a month ago, and the Italian Prime Minister Meloni, she addressed the conference, and she made the point that for us Italians, to quote her, for us Italians, she said, tourism is not just about money and jobs, but it is about showcasing the world our values and our culture, and how proud we are about that. And would you like to comment on how this would be transformational for the people working in the sector and not just for...
Yeah, first of all, in the intervention, I was not able to be with you yesterday, but at least in the interventions today, which I followed, you feel this pride of the country, of what you have, the products, and so on, no? And you don't want to get it away. You want to keep it, you want to enhance it. So it's all about this. So it's a way to put people together in one, so it's to unite the values that we have that are really deep into each one of you. From what I heard today, it's very clear. So, and we just, put it together in a very nice way, and we have everybody following behind. This is one unifier somehow, no? And you have to be very proud of it, because it's something that is from the ancient times, philosophy. It's something that goes beyond monetization, obviously, because it's really your values and your civilization. So most people in the country are standing behind. And it can help you. The idea is that it should help you in the tourism businesses and tourism destinations. So you're using something you're proud of, you're not selling for cheap, and you're creating a concept, a unifying concept that can take all your heritage, whether it's monuments, whether it's your local culture, it's your food, your whatever. So I would say yes, that's the way.
Thank you very much, Chris. I can see the clock is flashing
30 seconds.
Very threateningly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.